You don't need more motivation. You need a new identity because your habits will always come back to what you believe about yourself, that pattern. Remember, I've always talked about that wear pattern in the carpet. Even once it's cleaned and raised back up, if you step back into it, those fibers will fall back down because of that wear pattern, because of that belief. Even if you know better and you want better or you plan for better, your identity is what really drives you. Hi, my name is Almira Hinton, and welcome to video 19. I am the RN Health Coach and creator of the podcast Nurses Notes by Elmira. You can find me over on Spotify. That's one of your podcast players, iHeartRadio, as well as Apple for this podcast that will be posted there also. But welcome to video 19, of the You Are Unburdened series. Today, this is a pivotal shift. We're talking about identity-based change and why motivation fades out, but identity stays. And that's just what happens on January 1st or that Monday when we recommit to start again. And that motivation is a spark. This is one of the biggest mindsets upgrades that I teach my clients. And this is the missing link in why so many people stay stuck in cycles that they desperately want to break. And this just isn't about getting healthy, where you're using maybe food or overeating, emotional eating, smoking, or too much alcohol or not enough exercise. This is where this affects all these different areas and relationships. If you are someone that doesn't identify as someone that sticks with a relationship, or you feel like you make bad choices, not just with food, not just with smoking, but in relationships, identity becomes a part or is a part of every area of your life. Now, let's talk about why motivation isn't enough. It's just not enough. Motivation is emotional fuel. It's temporary. It's a spark. It's a sensation, but it doesn't necessarily last. You wake up one day ready to go, and the next day you feel heavy. You feel tired and you feel distracted. Motivation, have you heard, sometimes you hear people say it's like a shower. You need it every single day because it is temporary. It's not very long lasting. But identity is the real engine that drives everything, okay? If you identify as someone who always falls off the wagon, if you identify as someone who it can't stay consistent, if you identify as someone, oh, I can't lose weight or I just can't quit smoking, you also identify as someone who is addicted to sugar, always having to have, you say to yourself, I always have to have dessert after every single meal. That's your identity. Your brain will work to prove that story right. And if we can change that story, so working on that change from the inside out, we can change your life. Change your story, change your life. All right. What does that look like in building a new identity? Here's how to begin that shift in practice. Choose a new story. And if you go back to some previous videos of mine, I've talked about changing your story to change your life. Okay. Change your story to I am someone who nourishes my body, not just I'm somebody that's hungry and I have to eat. Choose a new story. I am a non smoker. Choose a new story. Choose a new story. I handle stress without food. This is what your story is. I'm consistent, even if I missed a day. Change your story, change your life. All right. Second part, act as if every small action aligns with that new identity. Build the evidence. Okay. One walk, one healthy plate. Change that burger and fries to a salad with grilled chicken breast. One plate at a time. Change that cigarette that you might have after work or while driving home to something else, listening to music. So making one small change can have a significant impact on your story. Okay. one 5-minute pause to begin your meditation. So making those small changes begins to change that story, which changes that identity. All right. Also, using self hypnosis. I teach that. I have a class called Seventh Path Self Hypnosis, where you begin to empty out those old stories and begin to replace them with the new you. Using meditation can also help rewire that identity at the root. And that's what we want to get to. All right. Fourth thing that you can do, speak it daily. What would be the healthiest version of you would say, would choose or believe? Okay. That healthy version of you might say, I'm going to make sure I get my water in today. That healthier version of you might say, I'm not going to smoke a full pack of cigarettes today. We're going to change that to maybe 3 or 4. The healthier version of you might say, I'm going to be sure and get at least 3 servings of vegetables in no matter what. Or that healthier version of you might say, I'm going to take a walk after dinner instead of sitting down and watching TV. So speak it daily. Small actions add up. All right. Now, if you feel this information has been supportive of you, make a comment. Let me know what your aha moment was with this new information about identity and motivation. Share this with someone who you feel might help or might help support you. And also make a comment so that I know that this supports you and that you're listening. All right. Remember, your new identity, it won't feel true right away. And that's okay. Truth follows repetition, not perfection. Remember, I've talked about this before. Making habit changes, identity changes, studies have shown can take as long as 66 days. So consciously, you're going to have to make these changes. Like I say, small changes each and every day add up. And you're going to have to think about them. You're going to have to plan them. You're going to have to choose them until they become written permanently in your identity. And that can take about 66 days. All right. Our reflection prompt for video 19 here is, what identity have I been unconsciously living? What is that? Acknowledge it. And what's a more powerful identity that you want to choose starting today? All right. Use your companion guide to make this real. Journal it. If you haven't downloaded it yet, go to my website or reach out to me and I'll be happy to send it to you. All right. Tomorrow is video 20, and we're going to talk about boundaries around food, energy, time, and emotional labor, especially for women who carry too much for too long. All right. Remember, you don't need to become someone else. You need to become who you really are and who you want to be underneath the burdens, the lies, and the old stories. You are ready to do it. Keep going. Reach out if you'd like to have a conversation about me supporting you and us working together to change your identity, to get that motivational spark whenever you need it, go to my website and click on Book Now, and we can just have a 15-minute hello session to see what that change could look like for you. All right. And what working with a coach who knows these things, who uses tools to help make these changes permanent, and who can educate you about healthy, about healthy habits and making these healthy changes in your life. Or make a comment and just say, I want to know more, and I'll send you more information or a link where we can book a time to have that conversation together. Remember, real change can start today, right now. All right. I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.